Welcome to the Knowledge Fight IT viewers. Today we are going to learn about how to classify the spam email and the normal email. So using the machine learning concept, we are going to use the Python library and we are going to classify the normal email and the spam email. So let's move to the tutorial. Yes, first we need to prepare the dataset, which means the email related dataset. So I just prepare the data using the Google Sheet. This is the data, the normal mail and the spam mail were categorized under the column called labels. And the subject of the email is entitled upon the column subject, and the content in the email entitled upon the column called content. So we need to process this CSV or Excel file, and we need to categorize the spam and the normal email using the machine learning concept. So first step, we need to prepare the data set using any of the data preparation tool. You can use the Microsoft Excel or any online tool. For an example, you can use the Google Sheet also. After prepare the data set, we need to choose the Python interpreter because we are going to use the Python language. So I selected the Google Colab, that is the free online tool we can use by signing our Google account. So load the data, the prepared data into the Python. After loading the data, we can combine the subject and the content because under the Excel sheet, there's a separate columns for the subject and email content. We have to combine both subject and content into one column. After the combination of both columns, we need to encode the labels and split the data. Encoding, which means we have to break the normal text files into the binary. Then only we can categorize the labels like spam or those kind of emails comes under the spam, which kind of emails comes under the safer normal emails. So we need to use the encoding method and encode all the labels and split the data into the data frame. So that is the fourth step. After completion of the fourth step, we need to move to the text vectorization, which means we need to again combine all the numerical data into the text method. So we need to train the data and prepare the test data and the train data. Finally, we need to predict the data using the predicted method, and we have to make sure the predicted answer is correct or not. That's why we need to follow following methods like evaluating the accuracy of the data and finding the F1 score value. By using two methods, we can predict the evaluation and the effectiveness of data we have predicted. So those are the steps we need to follow. Let's move into the practical. Go to the Google Chrome and just type Google Colab. Then you can open the Google Colab IDE. So let's start the coding part. First, you need to import the library called Pandas because you need to use the data set from the external source like the Excel or CSV file. That's why we need the Pandas Python library. So I need to import the Pandas library. That's why import Pandas. This is the name that I'm going to give like the object. I give the name as PD. So I'm running this file. Actually here I'm going to train the data. So I need to use the library called Scikit-learn. So just type Scikit-learn. This is the model creation to train the data. That's why model selection. This is the package name, and I'm going to import the train data, which means train test split, to split the data into the data frame. Those are the libraries. After splitting the data, I need some text vectorization. That's why I'm going to use the Scikit-learn again for the purpose of the feature extraction into the text vector. So I'm using the feature extraction package or text because I'm going to extract the text. I'm importing the text vectorization library. This is called TF-IDF Vectorizer. Then I need to choose the correct algorithm for the classification method. For this concept, I prefer the naive Bayes algorithm because it will extract all the tags, then calculate the mean values according to the grouping and the labelization and the categorization. We can classify the normal email and the spam email. So the algorithm I'm going to use, the name is naive Bayes. So I need to import that algorithm also. So just type from this Scikit-learn, I can use the naive Bayes algorithm. So just type it. Then under the naive Bayes algorithm, there are three types of methodology we can use under the naive Bayes. One is the multinomial. Multinomial means for the numerical data classification, we are using this kind of algorithm. So we can import multinomial NP. So then only we can find the prediction for the nominal data. So that's why I'm importing the multinomial NP, and I'm importing the from Scikit-learn metrics import classification report I need to verify the predicted result. That's why I'm using the method called accuracy score and the F1 score to detect the prediction value. Whether our predicted value is correct or not, we need to ensure to import this library called classification report and the accuracy score. Just run the script. Yes, let's move to the other part. I need to upload the data into this folder called sample data. Here I have the data in the spreadsheet. I need to download in the CSV format. Then only we can use it. So here I am downloading the data. And here I am uploading under this sample data. click on the upload button. Here upon the downloads, there's the data. So I'm expanding this sample data. You can see the uploaded data is available under this sample data folder. Now I need to store this data upon the variable. So I'm creating the variable called the name is data, and I need to read the data. To read the data, I need to use the Pandas library. That's why I'm using the PD. Under this Pandas library, there's a method called to read the data. The method name is file extension is CSV. That's why we need to use the function called read_CSV. So under this function, we need to just copy the path of the file and just paste under this function. Then only the file can read the data. So I'm just passing the data. The second thing is I need to combine both tables, both columns. Before the combination of both subject and content column, I need to remove the blank fields and the blank fields upon the subject column and the content column. So for that purpose, I'm creating another column called text. This is the new column. I'm creating the column called text, and here from the subject, you can use the single quote or double quote. And here I need to remove the blanks under the subject column. That's why I'm using the function called fill now. So under this function, I'm removing the spaces. And give plus, and also do the same thing for the content column. So same thing for the content column, using the same function called fill now, because to remove the blanks under the columns. I just need to keep the spaces. So I'm using the plus. Let's move to another part. Here I need to create another label called label number, and here I'm going to map the both category called. Here the labels comes under two categories, spam and ham. So I need to convert this spam under the binary called one category, HAM converted into the 0 category. So the label will be classified under the two category, 0 and 1. Spam will be categorized under the 1 category, HAM will be categorized under the 0 category. So I need to create a new label to make it vectorized. That's why I'm creating the new label. I'm creating the new name, label now. Here I'm going to use the data, label column, this label column. Then I'm going to use the map function. Here under this map function, I'm going to map both HAM and the span to the binary. I'm putting HAM make it as 0, and for span make it as 1. So that is the thing. I need to train the data. So I need to prepare the training samples and the testing samples for both X and Y. So I'm preparing the X underscore train. This is the variable X underscore test, and Y underscore train, Y underscore test. So I need to use the train method, train test failed method. Upon this method, I need to take the particular column. So I need to choose the both combined subject and the content combination column called text and the label number, both two columns to split the data for the training. So just putting the names. Data text and data label number. Here I need to mention the test size. Test size should be 0.2 because the 20% should be used for the test size, and for the training purpose we need to use the 80%, which means 0.8. That's why I wrote test size equal to 0.2, and also mention the random split, mention 42. And here I need to use the vectorization. So I'm creating the variable called Vectorizer equal. Here I'm using the text vectorizer. So under this method, some common words in the email subject and the content like is, and the continuous verb like your, and those type of words should be removed. So that's why here I am using the stop words method equal. Here I am giving the language is English. Then we can stop the common words. And here I'm using the X train. I need to create a vector for the training data. So that's why I'm creating this variable. I'm using the vectorizer. Here I need to spread the data into the data frame. That's why I'm using the fit transform method. Under this method, I need to choose the train data, which means the X train data. And here I need to create the vector for the X test vector. So creating the vector for the X test using the vectorizer method. Here using the transform. Here using the X underscore test. Just I need to create the model. So I am declaring the variable called model. The preferred model is multinomial int. So I'm using this method multinomial int. This is the model. And here I'm going to spread the data into the model. That's why model.fit. Under this method, I need to pass the X train and the X train vector and the Y train. Then I need to predict the value for the Y predict. According to that, I need to. So I'm creating the variable called Y predict equal model dot using the predict method for the prediction. Under this predict method, I am using the X test vector. Here I am printing the Y predict value. Just running the script. Here I got the error called text label num. What is the error? I need to check. Test size. Here I got the error for the test size. Yes, this is the test size. This one. Now I got the result for the Y prediction. The one is 1 and 0. So I need to get the accuracy of the evaluation. That's why I need to print the accuracy. So print accuracy. So for this purpose, we are going to use the accuracy score. Under this method, I need to use the Y test and the Y predict. Using the Y predict value and the Y test value, we are going to find the accuracy. And finally, I'm going to print the classification. So classification report to get the F1 score. So using the classification report method, here also I'm going to use the same thing, Y test and the Y predict. So I'm going to run this. Yes, now you can see the accuracy score, that is the 1.0, and you can find the F1 score as well. So this is the sample to detect the normal email and the spam email. So thank you for watching. Let's meet in another video. Thank you. Bye.